On a scale of 0 to The Exorcist, how sick were you guys filming this movie?
It was the first day we were 100% sick.
And even though it may not have been The Exorcist, it felt like The Exorcist
Yeah.
in the moment. I mean, I'm sure you've been sick at least once in your life. That feeling of not being able to control it. But I actually, the first time I was on a boat in Fiji, I was sick, and Shailene, I think it was the first time we went sailing together.
Yeah.
I can imagine her kind of going, "Oh God, this is going to be a really long shoot." This is
No,
how
I
he's
just felt
acting.
so. You had just gotten off a plane, basically, and
Yeah.
it was our first day of like rehearsals.
It was not
He got
great.
seasick.
It wasn't a great start. And then the second
just
time
felt
on the
bad.
boat, I think I was sick again, and I genuinely thought that was a pattern that was going to continue. But no, thankfully, it was just purely because we were eating very little in order to kind of lose the weight to make it look like we were at sea for a little while.
And it turns out it's not a good.
It's not a good. It's not a good recipe.
I mean, this character for you, it's ridiculous that it's a true story. But even just getting a role like this, playing a woman who actually kind of does so much on her own, how often do these come across like your agent's desk where you get a character like this?
I mean, I feel very lucky and fortunate. You know, my career, I've been able to play a lot of strong female leads, and these stories aren't actually that rare in my experience. I know a lot of other women in this industry have different experiences, so I'm very fortunate to have had a very different experience. But what I think is so profound about this particular story is woman or man, male or female, it really it shows the will of survival, and it shows the will of inner strength, and the fact that we are able to witness it through a 23-year-old woman's eyes is quite rare, because I don't think a survival story has been told in this particular way for a long time. At least I can't think of one. I know that you do see movies like Traxxer. There are films out there, but it's been a bit of time, and again, to me, taking gender out of the equation, it's the human spirit is so powerful, and so often we aren't in situations where we're able to understand fully our own capabilities, and that was the appeal to me. The fact that there was an opportunity to explore what could happen if mind, ego, distraction were stripped from a scenario, and you were faced with such a horrific, chaotic event.
You guys have both got young adult fantasy franchise background, but we don't really see them anymore. Do you think that's kind of the end for that sort of genre?
Well, the audience that were into that are grown up now, and that's not to say that there's not a new batch coming through, but the new generation, the next generation, they're into superhero movies, it seems, at the moment. But I don't think it's the end. I just think that the problem with any sort of new fad is that it gets overdone,
And
then
tries to replicate it.
the quality then starts slipping away.
Yeah.
And so I feel like actually the best thing for it is that there needs to be a bit of a break before people, start working on the quality versions of said fads.